Hi. Welcome back. Another video. Why do you all seem to miss your toxic, narcissistic ex? Even though you know it was a horrible relationship, there's a part of you that's so happy it's over, but you just can't help but miss them. And I'm here to tell you that, like, you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. It's okay to miss somebody, right? I mean, just because it ended horribly and you found out they weren't the person you thought they were, or you guys just didn't click, right? Doesn't mean there weren't great times. Doesn't mean you won't be able to look back on those with, those good memories and be appreciative of them, right? But the question that I would have for you is, do you miss the person or do you miss the way they made you feel? Do you miss those? Does your body just miss those dopamine hits? This is super important stuff right here. Like, you need to be able to discern the difference. Like, is it the person that I miss, or is it the literal, like, dopamine fix that they used to give me by just showering me with love bombing, or the sex was really good and like all this stuff? Because a lot of times these toxic relationships, man, they have ridiculous highs and lows, and you miss those. Your body becomes addicted to those highs. That's why you'll do anything you can during the lows to seek their approval and to get those highs back. Like, they're playing with your brain at this point. So there's a huge difference between the two. I've been in this position lots of times. Like, I can't even tell you how many were, yeah, I mean, even if they just treated you so terribly, you maybe got the courage to leave them, or it just ended for whatever reason. You just can't help but look back at the photos you guys had together. You think about texting them. You can't scout, you scope their social media if you have social media. You sit there and fantasize about them reaching out to you and apologizing to you and validating you. I mean, that's what makes these relationships so hard, right? Is all you want from this person is to feel seen and heard, because you didn't. At least for me, there was a lot of hurt that came from just not feeling like I was seen by this person. And I did everything in my power to be seen and to make them feel seen, and it still blew up, and they just kept disappointing me over and over and over again. And this is how this is why it can really screw you up, man. Is because, like, even when you're out of the relationship and you're happy to be done and like all this stuff, you still desperately want their approval. And it's hard. It's hard. But that's okay. This is hard stuff right here. You wanted their approval so badly, but the question that I would have is why, like, what's preventing you from giving yourself that approval? Like, you need to figure that out for yourself. And a really simple way to start doing that is asking yourself, just ask yourself, why am I not giving myself approval? Why am I not giving to myself what this other person gave me, or what I was seeking from this other person and I wasn't getting? This is a really powerful time. Take your time to miss this person. You should. It was good times, right? Like, even though it was bad and, you can't sit there and say anything nice about the person, like, that doesn't mean that you didn't maybe, have some of those, like, really powerful, emotionally connecting late night talks and really great connecting sex and experiences together where you're just sitting there laughing and having a good time and maybe taking some good photos together. There were happy times. You know, don't discount those. It's okay to miss someone. But also give yourself a little bit of grace, because your body is literally going through dopamine withdrawals, especially if it was a super toxic relationship. Any relationship, like, your body's going through those detoxes. You know, this is the time right now. If you're in this situation, it just happened to you, or you're in the process of having it happen to you, because you can kind of sense when a relationship's going to end, right? Like, a lot of us can. Give those thoughts and feelings the respect that they deserve. Have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for the other person, because, you know, the more that they try to pretend that they're not, I promise you that the more that they are hurting. You know, I think some people are just a lot more honest about how they feel. They don't really care how it's perceived, but a lot of people like to hide that hurt and that pain, you know, through anger. A lot of it is what it is. Like, behind every angry person is a hurt soul. Don't quote me on that with the psychology, but that's just what I know. I know I feel it. But use this time. This is a vulnerable and very powerful position you're in. I know you don't, like, you feel weak, and you feel like you could get stepped on. It's like you're a crab and you're moving on to a new shell, but you haven't found your new shell yet. Use this time to start asking these powerful questions. Like, why can't I give this person, like, why can't I give myself this validation and attention and love that I was seeking from this other person that they took advantage of? You know, why do I keep attracting this cycle of people? You know, what was a really big one that was like my big aha? How was I contributing to the toxicity of this relationship? Even though it might not have been overt and I wasn't consciously sitting there trying to hurt the person, a lot of times unconsciously we might do some things that aren't necessarily healthy. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. Like, just because you have some traits and qualities that might not be the healthiest forms of expression of love doesn't make you a bad person. You know, you gotta separate yourself from these behavior traits. You know, you're still a human being. You're still deserving of love, and you're still deserving of affection. You know, I personally believe that you should do the work to give that to yourself. But sometimes these traumas and these insecurities manifest in unhealthy ways sometimes. But once you start to catch them, once you start to become aware of them and why this happened, right? Ask yourself why. Where is this coming from? You can begin to heal it, and you can begin to become aware of it. And then the next time, you're not going to be coming into a new relationship with some of these maybe not so unhealthy habits. And as I said, it's fine. No one is perfect. Like, you're always going to be imperfect. You're always going to have some maybe not so healthy behaviors. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, that's why I don't really personally believe in, I mean, they're good, right? They're great. Like, and they have helped me out a lot. But, you know, sometimes I feel like a lot of these, like, big time, like, spiritual people and these big time YouTubers, like, they just try to seem so perfect. Not all of them, like, again, just some of them, you know, like, they just, like, their videos are, like, edited so perfectly, and it's just, everything's, like, so perfect, and, like, you sit there and you're like, this is, like, a tough expectation to live up to. Like, I'm never gonna be perfect, man. Like, I just want to be a normal guy that just gets some love here and there, you know? But use that time to heal and to grow. Like, you're totally exposed. Think about it like this. Like, you're totally exposed open right now. And you have the ability to look inside. Like, why wouldn't you do that? You know, you're already in, like, a lot of emotional distress and uncomfortableness. It sucks. Like, it's not going to make it that much worse by kind of going in and looking at yourself, not placing all the blame on another person. I'm not saying they don't have their part, but, I mean, it takes two to tango, right? Like, it's not 100% that person, the other person. And I think it's just really responsible of us, if we want to attract better, to own our part as well. You know, I hope everyone just has a wonderful evening, and probably gonna go film another couple videos. Like, come on now, you know, feeling full on, man. I had my fruit smoothie and my vegetables today, and I'm on that semen retention, man. Like, come on now, like, feeling full on. It's okay to miss somebody. Give those feelings the respect that they deserve. Give that other person, like, yes, it didn't work out. Yes, there's a lot of uncomfortableness. I'm super angry at them, and maybe I even hate them for the way that they treated me toward the end of a relationship. I'm not discounting that. That's probably very valid. But you can still show the situation grace, and show yourself some grace. Work on, start to ask yourself those questions in those positions. Like, why am I attracting this person? How was I a factor in this situation? And again, and separate yourself from those things. It's not, that's not who you are. Okay? That stuff can be changed, and there's nothing wrong with you. None of us are perfect. And figure out, like, how can I start giving myself this love and affection? All right, guys. Hope you have a good day.